video memory unit, and with that it was like a really cheap screen, but you would store data and play on the memory card to do mini games. So I think Nintendo was trying to do something like that with the Game Boy. The problem was, again, it was so expensive and mandatory for certain games like Legend of Zelda 4 Sword Adventure or Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles. That was a real big hitter. Like, I remember when my little brother bought that, me and him were excited to play multiplayer on that, and then it was like, nope, you needed this stupid-ass system. Like, everyone was like, why? They're like, why can't you just plug in another controller and play? It was like the stupidest system you can think of. Like, someone at Nintendo had to say, no, we need to have another system. And because of that, no one played the Crystal Chronicles game multiplayer, which would have been insanely good. Like, the thing is, I think Crystal Chronicles would have been a much more better experience if they put that out. I mean, they did remaster the game, and it didn't get a lot of praise, as far as I can tell. I'm not sure why. I think it was just dated. But the story for Crystal Chronicles was actually really good. Like, the story was that there was this deity who was stealing people's memories. I don't remember all the exact information, but it was a deity, and basically the entire game was based on you fighting powerful monsters and creatures as you find out more about the story. Eventually, you would find out that there's this god who's been stealing people's memories, and because of that, one of the people, like the Black Knight, he was like this ultimate warrior, was unfortunately a victim of that. He starts seeing hallucinations until some kid stabbed him and he just died. Like, it was a little ridiculous how he died, but I could understand. Like, he was so preoccupied fighting this aberration that he didn't pay attention to the kid jamming a knife into his heart. And unfortunately, like, at the end of the game, when you finally fight him, the ending is really depressing. Basically, you're fighting this creature who's slowly dissolving all your memories. Like, everything, all the memories, all the people you met throughout your journey will literally just starting to remove, they were starting to leave your memory. And the longer the fight took, the more memories that you would see would fade. So it was kind of a race against time until eventually you killed the thing, preventing it from taking everything. I forgot the reason why I did it, but that was kind of the plot of that. I'm craving like a burrito from Taco Bell with that jalapeno sauce. Like, I don't know why, but I love that sauce. Well, it's cheese and jalapenos mixed together, which is freaking awesome to me. I get that with steak and potatoes. It's delicious. It costs a lot, though. It costs like, I think, $8. And I need to eat 2 in order to feel full. So that's $16. And at that point, I might as well go to the sit-down, like, well, it's not a sit-down restaurant, but it's a burger restaurant. It's much more, it's a little more expensive, but at the same time, it's like I might as well get a triple cheeseburger for $11. Well, actually, it's $13 now. They had to raise their prices. Everything just got so much fucking more expensive. I love the sauce at Taco Bell. Yeah, Taco Bell breakfast is really underrated. I had it one time. I was like, this is actually really good. And it's actually cheaper than McDonald's. That was a surprising thing. Like, Taco Bell breakfast is not only cheaper than McDonald's, I think it's better. I think the breakfast sauce is a hollandaise sauce. Like, I tasted something like that before. I'm pretty sure I could make that. Something furry came on my leg. I was like, what the hell is that? Sushi. She's literally lying down on my toe now. There we go. How many of do I have? 24. Have to do this for every world. Oh my god. The thing is also with Taco Bell, I kind of have to avoid it because I get tempted with the well, I don't get as tempted as I do with soda anymore. Like, the temptation is kind of gone. But when I'm around it, it gets back there. Like, I think to myself, I always try to convince myself. I'm like, hey, you're not going to live forever. Hey, you're only at Taco Bell how many times? Might as well get it. It's the same thing when I go to a sit-down restaurant and I'm like, I should get salad. And I'm just like, you know, you're never going to be here a lot. You might as well get the cheeseburger. Like, I will get something that's unique to the restaurant above everything else, but... Like, I hate that I've been trying to be good whenever I go to a sit-down restaurant and order salad. And I've been seeing a noticeable difference, like I said. Ever since I started to actually sit up straight, I'm starting to see, like, actual, like, abs. My sides look better. Everything looks better. I didn't know sitting up straight was such an important thing, but it's so much harder to do. I have to constantly focus. Oh, that is actually... I kind of want to try that. Let's try it. Whoa, that's fast. Okay, I'm taking this. This is actually really good. Chicken quesadilla, soft beef tacos. I like the potato tacos. I sound like I would just, when they were $1, I would literally just order like 10 of them. Like when I was in college, I would just eat off the dollar menu. $5 footlongs, dollar menu, all that shit. Honestly, my favorite is Wendy's though, but they always fuck up my order. Like, I have to double and triple check. One time, one of the cashiers looked at me a little dirty because she was like, "Why is he checking? We got everything right," and they didn't. I was like, "Hey, you forgot my, one of my cheeseburgers," and they're like, "Oh, we're sorry." So it was a good thing I did check. And I remember that day because when I went to Dollar General, because I would usually get a drink by just getting it from the cheap place like Dollar General, where you can pick up like literally a bottle of soda for like $1 as opposed to paying $2 at the place. I don't mind because it's literally on the way. Some kid was in the cart. His mom was paying for something, and the kid grabbed my bag of Wendy's. Literally, he had no shame. He literally just grabbed it out of my hand, and I'm just looking at him smiling. I'm like, what do you think was gonna happen? The mom was so mortified. She just looked at him and said, "Give it back." He wouldn't give it back, so she took it from his hand and gave it to me. And she was just like, "I'm so sorry." I'm like, "It's fine." I was just like, the kid was so brazen to do something like that. And you know when he got home, his mom was going to, like, not be happy. From dollar stores, they're expired. Well, I don't buy food. Like, there are certain things you can buy from dollar stores that are actually a great way to save money. Like, I think soda would be one of those things because they generally are... Like, yeah, you should always look at the expiration date. I would never buy meat there. No, meat or eggs. Absolutely not. But, you know, junk food, I think that would be fine. The other thing is, like, toilet paper and stuff like that. Like, when I had a coworker, she would talk about how expensive, like, stuff like that would get very expensive. I was like, just go to Dollar General, get, like, the cleaning supplies and stuff like that. They work just fine. I was like, what toothpaste are you using? She's like, Colgate. I was like, just get AIM. Literally, it's $1 a tube, and it's the same exact thing. She's like, wait, what? I was like, yeah. She's like, I thought it was better for you. I was like, it adds more chemicals, but it's still toothpaste. It's like when you get the cold medicine. Like, it's okay to get the $15 bottle of Walgreens cold medicine. It's the same exact thing from the Dayquil and NyQuil. The difference is brand. I tried to buy coconut dollars, but I told my manager. I bet he was embarrassed. Because at the end of the day, it is their store. And they also operate on razor-thin profit margins. Like, they don't want to have an issue where they get closed down by corporate. Because all of that does matter. Like, when I worked at Macy's, I was wondering why more people got either fired for some stupid reason, or rather than just, like, they let them quit or stuff like that. They would always, like, sometimes make up something. It's because it looks really bad. If your store has a lot of people quitting, they're going to start asking questions. What's going on? What's happening? So it's much better to fire someone for some stupid BS reason, like, oh, they came in 5 minutes late, or, like, they didn't wear proper attire, stuff like that. That kind of it's just like, whatever. I mean, the ironic part is that I applied to that job for like 2 years ago, and then they called me out of the blue and said, hey, you want to come in? It's like, okay. Dollar store sells meat and eggs? No way. Yeah, they do. Well, I haven't seen eggs there anymore because I usually go there if I want, like, just like a pick-me-up. Like, I just want like a soda or energy drink. Well, not soda anymore. More like, the thing is, dollar stores actually have pretty good, like, drinks that they don't sell anywhere else. Like, if you want a new Mountain Dew flavor, I would usually just go to the Dollar General, because they would usually have them, as opposed to 7-Eleven or, like, other places. Like my bodega, the 7-Eleven, they don't have the stuff half the time. Like, I would just literally go to the Dollar General and they would have it. That's how I got, like, the Liberty drinks. I was like, they had them all there. They also have those coffees with unique flavors, like Twix, Snickers, all that stuff. I mean, when I was in Italy, I saw all that stuff. It was, like, everywhere, but I didn't know they sold them in America. And for the meat, they usually sell them in the freezer. They're like the dollar meat. You know, like Salisbury steak stuff, $1. Skirt steak, frozen, $1, stuff like that. Again, I wouldn't buy it. I don't care if that came from an animal. I think I think you might die. Like, when I took my food protections license test, you'll be surprised what little thing can happen and then you'll end up dying the most horrible death you can possibly imagine. Like, I remember someone ordered, when I was working at a burger restaurant, someone ordered the pork to be raw. No, it was the chicken. I was like, we can't. He was like, I want the chicken rare. I'm like, we can't do that. They're like, yeah, you can. Just cook it for a little bit and serve it. I'm like, no, we can't. That is illegal, and you will die. He's like, well, they cook beef rare. I want to try chicken rare. And I'm just looking at this guy. Like, this is a grown man. I'm just, like, looking. Like, sir, we can't do that. Like, the thing is, a lot of people have horror stories about retail, and yeah, there are horror stories, but most customers are okay. They understand what you're going through and to be patient, but you always get that one customer where you're just wondering, what the fuck? You're just like, how did this person get dressed this morning? Like, I do remember there was, like, when I was at a Pizza Hut. Well, it was one of those discount Pizza Huts at Target. They took it down. a lady was just arguing with the guy, and she's like, "What's your name?" And he's like, "I don't remember my name." And then she starts going off about how, "I know you have a sad life, but that's no reason to be rude." And he's just smiling at her and saying, "Okay." And the little girl, she was a mom, is just standing there, and you can see the face of shame on her. Like, that little girl had more empathy and how to act like a decent human being than this freaking woman. And everyone there was also like feeling bad for the guy. We were just like, lady, he's just like doing his job. What do you want from him? Crap, these things. I have to tell stories to distract myself, or I'm gonna get really bored with all this grinding. Like, at least with Final Fantasy, it had really kick-ass music that I could listen to while I grinded. Like, this game has good music, but, you know, it's still not the same. There we go. Crap. Finally, some more ancient alloy. Honestly, I was also thinking of doing The Witcher 3 to try and get all the achievements in that. I kept saying I was going to do the Dark Marsh difficulty. I never did it. Like, I started it, got to the Griffin, and I don't know what happened. What are you doing?
Okay, this is it.
Oh, she was probably saying, "How did you miss? He was right there in front of you." Remember, don't start any fights, but if one of the kids decides to fight you, knock them out. I did remember when I was looking through the Ghost of Tsushima sequel. Yotai, I believe it's pronounced. But the sequel, and everyone was like saying, so it's Mulan. And I'm just thinking like, dude, Mulan is fucking Chinese. This is Japanese. I'm just like, dude, come on. You're not making Americans look any better. At least I hope they're not American. I thought Europeans would not be aware of that. Europeans have a better education system than America. That's where I have to go. Oh, what's this? Yes, Sushi? What's up? Oh, it's 6:30. She needs her. She wants to eat. I'll be right back. I need to feed her. So she needed that stuff. You're gonna feel. I hope you're feeling better. I remember you said you've been sick for the last couple of days. Sorry.
Not bad. Not bad at all.
The thing is that Shishima's boyfriend or husband, it's a big a cat that hangs around her. Pretty sure he was the father for kittens. Like he was hissing at me. The thing is, he also bullies her a little because whenever I feed her, I can see that he's trying to get into our food, so I poured a little food for him. And it distracts him as long as I stay next to Shishimi. She's more comfortable around me, but he still hisses and he eats the dry food there, and it's just like, okay. Wow, I killed him fast. Oh, that's a herd, never mind. Alright, which way am I going? That way. 50434110.
This looks important.
5403441. hope I get one item at least.
Please, show me what you've collected. Which planet is your destination? Please find something secret, something someone doesn't want found. Secrets are how you decide. Please bring... Please. Please describe. I will
God. I just have to keep killing enemies until I get enough.
I've never seen anything like this before.
So I got one after 2 hours. Oh god. I know the next one I need is the Onate box.
Do not do it. She but be not her bane. That proof.
Yes. What's wrong? Sushi. You're happy now that you got fed? Don't you want to go talk to your friend outside?
All right. Can we get some?
Hopefully that increases my drop rate. It ran into my bullets, man. Is there an item that I can drink that gives me increased rare item drop?
Here they come.
Yes. What's up? Yes? What's wrong? Look at this thing. She's showing everyone her butt. What's wrong?
Music. Out here?
It is here. Grandpa. It trap, but we were. It is quite the alas. So the forest dies, Paxutek. The balance has either failed
wrong?
or betrayed us. There is little hope now, except in song. Some blame Paxutek.
Sick.
Paxutek have come and gone. The rot
played with her. Hopefully she's okay a little. Hi, if you want someone in your game, do they get the quest rewards too and can craft? Yes.
Yet now I feel great.
Any quest rewards that you get from the from co-op, you get to keep, but crafting items, I don't believe so. Because there are different items you can craft with different items, so crafting items, I don't think so. But definitely, if you earn something, everyone gets it. The game is built for co-op in mind. It's not really built for single player, which makes it... That's why it takes me so long to 100%. It took me so long to 100% it. I did it twice. Both for Xbox and for PlayStation. I got the Platinum Trophy, and the PlayStation version took me, I think, 40 hours. And then this one took me 60 during my first time around. This last achievement is going to take me forever because you literally have to grind so much equipment. I have to get at least 90 of these rare materials, and then I have to get a very exclusive item. But the game doesn't tell you what that is. Oh wow, you're gonna try and master crafter achievement? Yes. That's the only way. I'm trying to find the people who gotta know if they have the quest items. Well, it's not just the quest items. You also need to get the item that's exclusive to each region. For this region, it's Ancient Alloy. For Yasuke, not Yasuke. For this area, the fantasy area. So every area has an exclusive alloy that you need to farm. As far as I can tell. I could be wrong about that, but I haven't gone to the other regions, but yeah, you need to farm these items and they drop randomly from enemies and you can find it in the map. So yeah, annoying. I only got one item so far. I know another item I can get. I know there are 3 per area, I believe. The first one, you need to get the Fruit of Death by allying yourself with the Ravager. But since I already have the Ravager item, I'm good. The other thing is the Ornate Box, which I will have. And I think the last... I don't know what the last one will be. We'll see. I don't know who the hell thought this would be a good idea. This is fucking annoying. Like, I thought it would have been in... you could farm the items from the... boss rush mode, but you can't. On a bunch of alloy. You only need 1? Lucky you. I need everything. I have been very unlucky with these drops. Honestly, I wouldn't be doing it unless I only do reviews on my channel when I 100% the game now. So if I can't 100% it, I don't do the review like I did with Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I couldn't 100% it because I couldn't do the piano thing. Like, I have no rhythm, so I literally could not do it. So I just never did the review. It's my game of the year, but I just couldn't do it. I did everything else except for that. I was gonna ask a friend to do it for me, but it would have been disingenuous. So I was just like, I can't do it. I did 100% Black Myth Wukong though. I'm surprised a lot of people still haven't beaten that game yet. And a lot of people said that game was really hard. It wasn't as hard as I thought. Like, there was only one boss that took me 8 hours to beat. Like, the bosses that people keep saying that are super hard, I beat on like with my second or third try. But the bosses I found hard, people are saying are super easy, so maybe I'm just backwards. We'll see. Yes, sushi. I wish there was an easier way to farm this stuff. You're gonna make a YouTube video about how to get GG once you get it? Yes, I am. I am filming that. How to get every single item. Hopefully the guy does well. There are different play styles. Yeah, I stick to the basic. High crit chance, single reload crossbow. I can do about 25 to 3k amount of damage, but it's big risk, huge. It's huge risk, big reward. I have to hit a critical shot, and it has to trigger another crit. I usually use the handler, but I want to increase the drop rate, so I need the Explorer perk. See? Explorer perk. I got one. Because there isn't a single guide out there. Yeah, I'm trying to do that. This is just the longest achievement. There's a, like, God. And it's also such a bullshit achievement for people like me who've played like so much of this game. I think, yeah, I've played 7 days worth of this game, so 24 times 10 times 7. I've played a lot of this game, and I feel like this achievement is just like such garbage, because it basically says, you know, all that stuff that you did, do it again, but this time we're going to increase the grind. I can understand if this was a new player coming into this game, it would be probably entertaining to get those powerful items. But likely the people playing Dark Horizon are going to be people like me who've already sunk a lot of time into this game. So an achievement like this is just really like a finger into the wound, mixed with salt and pepper. And I'm going to be really annoyed if the items aren't even that good. Like, hopefully the items are good at least. Like, so far the ring I got, it wasn't that great. I think what they should have done is made it that all mini bosses and bosses drop at least one. Guaranteed. Like, I think that should have been a thing. If you fought a mini boss or a mainline boss, they will drop one no matter what. But that's just me. Like, as I've gotten older, I've realized, like, long, grindy achievements, they should have died with the Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3. It's good new players, but not old players that have to go back. Yeah, it's because it's like saying, hey, all that stuff that you've done, all that stuff you completed, you gotta do it like a dozen more times again. Like, not even a dozen, it's probably even more if the drop rate is just not in your favor. But, like, how many new players are gonna play the Dark Horizon DLC first? I doubt it. And even in, like, and when they find out what they gotta do, they're gonna probably be even more pissed off. They're gonna be like, wait, I did all of this. Because people tend to do things chronologically. Like, it's just common sense. So when they see that the last DLC is the Dark Horizon, they're gonna be like, okay, I should do that one last. I should do Forgotten Kingdom and the Taken King first. So they're gonna get to this, get Spark, which also, she's hidden. That's the other thing. This entire thing is a hidden thing. Like, you have to find Spark, and she's random the first time. The second time, they don't even tell you that she's random the second time. I had literally found her by accident. I was like, why are you up here? In the second area. It's just like she's in a random area in a corner somewhere. There's no hint or anything that she's there. You find her. It's just like, guys. I think that they should learn a little more from this game about secrets, because a lot of them seem like... Yeah, Dark Souls does have a lot of notorious secrets that are really hidden. Like the infamous wall that has to be hidden like 50 to 100 times. Or like very niche, how to get to the DLC for Dark Souls 1, which is really hidden. But I feel like those should be like, even From Software has learned like, hey, maybe we should tone these down a little. Like, I like this game a lot, but there are some things that they really should have like taken a step back and be like, maybe that's a little too much. Like, I'm not saying this to be cruel, I'm saying this to be look as a gamer looking at this from the inside out. Like, how many people are actually going to do all of this? Like, I'm sociopathic, so of course I'm going to do it. I'm going to be like, I need this to be 100% or it's going to gnaw at me. If I don't have that 100%, I'm going to be really annoyed. But for everyone else, I don't think any common gamer is going to be like, oh yeah, I'm not doing all that, screw that. It's like with the Alan Wake collectibles. Like, when you look through that game, the number one thing that people did not do was literally the collectibles, because there are over 100 of them. And so many players just said no. You don't even need to do much, you just have to, well, you have to play on Nightmare to get all the manuscripts, but it's just like one of those situations where you're like, take a step back and ask yourself, if you were playing this game new, would you do all of this? I'll give her the ring. I feel really bad when I don't give her the ring like it's her sister.
What kind of beast is this? You and do choose wise.
Do you throw the injured soul? This do you keep up?
Serve
I really like her design.
Do you give him what he asked? Well, if you do you? Would you? But he. That ring. You killed her on behalf of all of my sisters.
There we go. A lot of casual players played Remnant 2 for the first time, beat it, never replayed it, probably even for MG areas. Yeah, I saw that a lot. Like, during my walkthroughs and guides, a lot of players were like, I didn't know that was there, or this happened, or stuff like that. Like the Ravager statues, how in Root Earth there are like a bunch of hidden weapons. Literally at the beginning of the game there are like 3 hidden items. A sword, a gun, all that shit. It is vastly superior from Remnant 1, I will give it that. Like, especially, like, the only thing that I really thought was a downgrade was the final boss. Like, the Annihilation, I did not like that boss. Like, I liked the design, the battle was just really bad. Like, so many flash, like, I feel like they need to put a warning for people who are sensitive to flashing lights. I was like, I don't know what the fuck is going on. Like, I think the final boss was just, like, the low end of the point. Like, there are some of these optional side bosses that were better than that final boss. And the thing is, this is not like Space Marine 2, where it's meant to be played in batches. Like, if you played this game like you play Space Marine 2 or, say, Gears of War, you're not gonna... You're never gonna, like, finish it, per se. Because the game just has so much content that it would be next to impossible if you just play this casually. You really have to dedicate... It's like Assassin's Creed Valhalla, I would argue. If you want to get your fill, you're going to have to sit down and dedicate yourself to this game. Like, people who did finish Valhalla, they liked it a lot, at least from my opinion, but there are a lot more players who gave up on it because it was just too long. I see so many people on my videos who are like, I just couldn't finish this game, it was just too much. And I can't blame them. The main story alone is 60 hours. Like, if that game came out in 2010, I think it would be regarded as one of the best games ever made. But now, the time it came out, definitely not. It was like they tried to pull a Skyrim. The thing is, but Skyrim is very condensed. Like, you have the Dark Brotherhood, you have the Thieves Guild, you have the Warrior Guild. It's just like, you can go to one of those guilds, start the missions, and just go from point A to point B, essentially. It's literally just one linear quest line. And that's what made Skyrim so, I would argue, so popular. Because you can start any of those guild quests that are very popular, play them from start to finish, and you don't feel like those quests also take you to new exotic locations, so you always feel like you're being rewarded. But in Valhalla, the missions can lead you to so many different locations and areas, and it was just too much.
That's it. For now.
I will say I did get a lot of crap when I mentioned, like, I didn't like the Taken King DLC. I don't know how I feel about this DLC, though. Like, I like, as far as I could tell, you can't save the custodian. Like, he will always, like, I thought if you got all the audio logs from all the other Jerseer, he would decide to not end himself. But I tried multiple times, and he always ends up ending himself. So as far as I can tell, there's no, like, big hidden ending, like in, this DLC. The Forgotten Kingdom. Like, in this DLC, there is a very hidden ending where you can save the god. Like, I did like the idea of that you fought that god, Ellipsis Torah. Like, the idea that it's not even evil. It's just like a god that's so powerful, that's lived for so long that it doesn't care whether you live or die. It has no value of life. It just wants to learn. And after you beat it, well, you don't even beat it. It just lets you go. It's just like, this was enlightenment. Time for you to go. I think what would have been better if they didn't call it Ellipsis Torah, because technically it's not Ellipsis Torah. It's literally just a god within the black hole. He's just, well, I wouldn't say he's that. I would say he's more like he's just a machine. At the end of the day, he's literally just a machine fulfilling his duty. And when he's lost his purpose, he's literally like, what do I do now? I guess I'll try, if there's an afterlife, I'll serve my creators there. It's like with the Lich from Adventure Time. He wins in one of the universes. He exterminates all life. And then he goes to Glob and says, in succeeding, I lost all purpose. And in his misconception, he thinks that Glob would want to eliminate all life, not realizing that chaos and death are two very different things. He's the god of chaos, not the god of death. He wouldn't want all life to die, and secondly, he would never tell you to do something for it. He tried his best. Yeah, he did. Like, at the end of the day, the Jazeera were just... They were just, like, they were searching for purpose after they mastered everything else. And it cost them everything. It kind of reminds me of that Doctor Who episode when... it's one of the more depressing episodes. Where the Doctor comes to the end of our universe. Where the heat death of the universe is about to happen. And what happens is that the last of the humans, they want to go into another planet to find life. So they create a rocket to propel themselves from Earth to find new life, hoping they can travel to another universe or galaxy. And there's another subset of species who are like cannibals, who are trying to stop them from doing that because humans are their food source, apparently. Like, they're a subspecies and they just want humans as a food source, so they don't want them to leave. So eventually they do leave, And what happens later is you find out they found nothing. Later on, there was the I believe the master. Yeah, it was the master who found them drifting in space, and he gave them new life. He basically turned them to like weapons, circle like blade creatures, like the Krill from Gears of War. And what he did is turn them into these spinning blade things. And when I forgot who the black girl's name was, but she asked, "Why are you doing this? I thought you cared about life and all that." And he literally just responds, "Because it's so much fun." Like they've lost all their humanity to the point they take joy in just killing other things. It kind of reminds me of that. And then Doctor Who became bad. It also kind of opens the floodgates for our own world in this game. Like, seeing that we actually encounter, like, actual gods in other worlds, does that mean there's a god in our world that we've yet to encounter? I feel like they're kind of leaning towards that, seeing that every DLC is focused on some sort of godlike figure. Like with the One True King. I've been calling him the Taken King because of Destiny. But the One True King, he's not really a god, but they treat him like a god until he went crazy. Then you have Lystria from here. And she's technically a god, but she's limited in her abilities. Then you have Ellipsis Toro, who's actually a god. Like, I feel like if there's any god in this universe, it's literally that thing. Because it doesn't have life or death. It doesn't really care about that. And it's always existed. It doesn't even analyze time in the way that we do. Like, it's just like time